What if an entire nation could actually see its climate future and get ready for it? Well, today we're taking a deep dive into the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu. It's one of the most climate vulnerable places on the entire planet, but they have this incredible system for turning raw climate data into life-saving action. Let's get into how they pull it off. So let's just start with this massive question. How does an entire nation prepare for a tropical cyclone? And I'm not just talking about boarding up a few windows. This is about everything: agriculture, infrastructure, tourism, fisheries, literally every single part of their society. For a country like Vanuatu, getting this right isn't just a good idea, it's about survival. And that leads us right into our first section, really understanding of Vanuatu's unique climate challenge. For them, this isn't some abstract problem for the future. It's right here, right now, and it's a constant reality.
Here's the key thing to get your head around. For a nation of islands sitting out in the Pacific, things like rainfall outlooks or seasonal cyclone forecasts, that's not just interesting data, it's an absolute lifeline. It informs every major decision, from when farmers should plant their crops to where the government should build new hospitals.
Okay, so how do they actually turn all that critical data into action? Well, that brings us to their brilliant solution, a truly remarkable annual climate summit where the nation's entire strategy gets hammered out. And that solution is the National Climate Outlook Forum, or NCOF for short. The best way to think about it is like the central nervous system for the country's climate preparedness. It's this yearly workshop that brings everyone to the table: scientists, government officials, leaders from agriculture, disaster management, you name it. And their one big goal? To translate complex climate science into practical plans you can actually use on the ground.
And listen, this is so much more than just a meeting. It's a really well thought out process. You can see their 5 main objectives right here. They don't just review forecasts, they engage the people who will actually use them to make sure the information is useful. They don't just hand over a report, they build capacity so people know what to do with it. This whole system makes sure that by the time they get to that final step, integrating it all into national planning, the information is already understood, it's trusted, and it's ready to go. It's a complete ecosystem for resilience.
But all this collaboration isn't just talk. It leads to them actually creating a concrete set of tools, a resilience toolkit, if you will. So in this next section, let's look at the actual things they're building to keep the country safe. All right, first up, they've developed a brand new flood early warning dashboard, and this is a total game changer. It gives communities that critical heads up when river levels are rising, buying them precious time to prepare and, if needed, evacuate. It's a tool that straight up saves lives. Second, they've got the Vanuatu Climate Futures Portal. Now, this one is all about playing the long game. It helps decision makers see how the climate is likely to change decades from now. That way, they can make sure that any new roads, new buildings, new infrastructure, it's all built to withstand the future. And the third one is the Climate Watch app, which is just so cool. It's this amazing blend of modern tech and ancient wisdom. On one hand, it uses satellite data to help people monitor what's happening right now. But on the other, it allows them to log and share traditional knowledge, the local weather patterns and signs that have been passed down for generations. It brings hard data and priceless local expertise together in one place. And it doesn't even stop there. They also finalized a huge national plan for dealing with major climate patterns like El Niño. They trained farmers on a special tool called Oscar that gives them climate advice specifically for their crops. And they even developed a new research policy to make sure their climate science just keeps getting better. What an incredibly productive few days. Okay, so they've built the tools, they've crunched the numbers, but how does all this information actually get put to use in people's everyday lives? This is really where the rubber meets the road. Just take a look at this. It shows you just how deeply this climate data is woven into the very fabric of Vanuatu's society. This isn't just for disaster managers. Farmers are using it to decide when to plant their crops. The tourism industry is using it to keep visitors safe. Engineers are using it to build stronger bridges. From the water you drink to the fish on your plate, every single critical part of the economy depends on this information. And, the whole mission is just perfectly captured in the official theme of the forum, which is in the local Bislama language. It says, Yumi Biltim Wan Resilient Vanuatu through long climate information services. And that simply translates to, we build a resilient Vanuatu through climate information services. It's just a simple, powerful statement that is the guiding star for all this incredible work. And all of this, it all builds to this one final critical moment. After days of analysis, workshops, and teamwork, the entire event funnels down to one single vital announcement. So, after all of that incredible work, what's the single most anticipated outcome? What's the one piece of information that everyone in that room, and frankly across the entire country, is waiting to hear?
It's this, the declaration of the Tropical Seasonal Outlook. This is it. This is the official forecast for the coming storm season. It's that moment where all the data, all the discussion, all the analysis, it all comes together in one national alert.
And you absolutely cannot overstate how important this moment is. This one forecast dictates pretty much everything for the year ahead: where to put emergency supplies, how to advise farmers and fishermen, what safety messages need to go out to the public. The entire nation's preparedness for the next year really hinges on this one declaration.
So the forecast is made. The tools are built. Vanuatu has basically created a masterclass in how to proactively adapt to the climate. But as the forum wraps up, the real work is just beginning, getting this plan into action across a huge chain of islands. And it leaves you with this final thought. A nation can have the most perfect plan in the world, but in the end, success comes down to the resilience and cooperation of its people, island by island,